Yo, what's up, League? We're here with Commish's Thoughts, Episode 1. We're deep diving Heath, and by deep diving, 15 minutes, maybe, if we're lucky. Um, I actually made a video for Heath, and I didn't like it because I found something that I said I wish we had. So, restarting. But anyways, here we are. We're looking at Heath's initial team that he drafted. Walked away with draft day. Let's take a little sneak peek. Tatum Towns, Ja. Truthfully, a good three, especially if Ja's healthy and playing. Obviously, Tatum wasn't playing this year. Heath pretty much, when he drafted Tatum, showed his hand, but that don't mean anything. You can still be competitive with an IR guy. Um, Castle, I love Castle. I'm a sore, banking on a sore to have a big year this year. Jalen Green, Van Fleet. I don't think anyone understood Van Fleet getting drafted, but it's okay. I don't think he got him for anything but like $3. Pirtle, Westbrook, obviously, he owns Westbrook. I love the flyer on Missy, Cam Thomas. This just didn't pan out. Um, but yeah, that's the team he drafted. I mean, I genuinely, after he drafted, you obviously go, he's keeping Tatum, Towns, Morant, Castle. If he doesn't do a single move, that's who he's keeping. And if one of these other guys like Pirtle, Missy, and a sword takes a huge step, they might get subbed out for Castle. Um, but I mean, after draft day, sure, Heath wasn't a top tier team coming out of draft day, but I mean, these guys are no scrubs right here. These three, when healthy and playing. Like I said, this was just going straight to the season-ending IR, which he did. Um, but like I said, I thought Heath did a good job for his first draft in probably 7 years. Walking into a keeper for the first time. Obviously, everyone did, but yeah, I thought Heath did a fine job. And then we move over to his current roster as we're looking at Joey's roster. Um, Heath's roster, just go ahead and just take a deep dive look. There's not many people here that he drafted. He still has Castle, Russell, Ja, and that's it. He has three of his original um, 11 players that he drafted on draft day. So that means Heath must have made a lot of moves this year. Well, let's go over there and check out the moves he's made. We'll start at the very bottom. The first big trade of the year, November 1st. I mean, we're talking early season. What was that, like week 2, week 3? He goes ahead, ships Carl Anthony Towns and a sore. Don't mind that. Gets back Hartenstein and Zion. Neither of these guys are big time keeper worthy like Cat is. I mean, Zion's keeper worthy, but Zion's shown nothing to an extent to trade for Cat. Now Heath breaks the barrier on picks and grabs Ryan's first and third, um, which is a big deal because I do think that first rounder is huge because you're grabbing a guaranteed top 14 player in next year's draft, and he moves his fourth and sixth. So he gains tremendous in the draft. He's sitting on two firsts, two thirds immediately. He set the bar immediately for everyone. Like Heath is here to make moves. Um, this trade, I mean, we'll see what this first pick turns out. I don't. I think he still has Ryan's third. It's right here. I'll look. We'll look, but I think he still has Ryan's third. But I mean, Ryan instantly grabs a nasty keeper in Carl Anthony Towns, upgrades from his keeper in Zion, the cap. But we're not here for Ryan. We're here for Heath. So Heath downgrades his keeper from Cat to Zion, and that's, if you ask me, that's a huge downgrade. But gets huge draft capital back. His next trade he does with me. I give up a fourth in Jordan Poole for Jalen Green. I gave up $15 as well, but I don't look at $15 as anything. This has been absolutely a brick of a trade for me. Um, Jalen Green's played a game and a quarter. So Heath won this trade tremendously, as in he got a fourth. He sent me a seventh. So obviously moves up in the draft again. Poole's played 24 games this year. So I mean, he's not played much, but I mean, Jalen Green's really played a game and a quarter. Whatever Jalen Green does, I think he comes back Saturday. Um, we'll have to see. But right now, Heath has won this trade. I mean, Jalen Green's not a keeper by no means for me. Obviously, I gave up a fourth. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think Heath won this trade right here. Unless Jalen Green comes back, plays my last like 20, 30 games and 30, 40 games, I guess, and he's just great. But right now, Heath wins that for sure. Here, would you look at it again? Trades with me again. He trades me Zion, his second, and my fourth back. That's actually funny. And I send him my first and third and Porzingis. This was a dump trade of Porzingis. Obviously, grab Zion. I do value Zion. I mean, like I said, I think Zion's a keeper. I said it down there in the first trade. It was just, but to me, I upgrade players drastically as long as this one stays healthy. Sent a first, sent a third, got back a second and a fourth. So yeah, I moved down in the draft, lost the Covenant first, but it's still second and fourth. I wasn't upset about this. Um, we'll have to see what that first round draft pick turns out to, but Zion's been pretty good. Um, I'll say this is just a wash. You could argue maybe I did win this one. You could argue I didn't. This one's close. This one's very close. Like I said, I don't gauge $15 as nothing. It's really what Heath turns these two picks into, if he still has them. I know he still has my first. I don't know if he has my third. I think that's been moved around. But then we move up, and he trades with Sean. I mean, dude, he's made a tons of trades this year. Um, he trades Kyrie, and because I dropped Kyrie, he picked up Kyrie. He traded. No, he traded. Who did he trade? He traded Pirtle and a fifth. There it is. To Sean picked up Kyrie off me um, when I dropped him. So he sends Pirtle and a fifth to Sean um, for Kyrie and Sean's second. Is that $15 going to? Yeah, going to Sean. So he sent $15 as well. He's already been given $30 in his first two trades. Well, two of his first three. $15, $15. Actually, $15 was a lot to Sean, who's going to make a playoff run this year. Um, but Heath takes on Kyrie, dumps Pirtle. Massive upgrade in the draft, goes from the fifth to the second. So you're seeing what Heath is doing, moving way up in the draft. I'm fine with this trade. Pirtle's been actually really bad for Sean, been hurt, banged up. As it stands right now, I think Heath has won this one because that second rounder could also land him Pirtle back next year, which would be funny. But here we go. He buys Jaren Jackson for $40. Stole him away from Sean and I think Brett. And then the trade, Sadiq Bey for Isaiah Collier. I forgot that one even happened. Sadiq Bey was on a good run there for a little bit. He genuinely was. But Collier's had a few good runs too. But I think I don't even know if they're owned anymore. If you want me to be honest, yeah, Collier's on the free agency. Sadiq is owned by Cody. So neither of these teams own these players anymore, um, which is actually funny. And then we move up to the most recent trade that happened on January 10th, 4 days ago, the big trade. Another big trade in this league. He trades Jason Tatum and my third for Paolo, Brandon's first, and Brandon sends $125. That's the most money we've ever seen sent in a trade. He sends his first, sends Paolo, lets everyone know I'm done for the year as well. And Brandon, you never know with Brandon. He changes his mind every probably 4 days. But regardless, this is the trade that I am so unsure about because that's a lot of money. That should be a good pick. Like I said, Paulo's not Tatum, but I think Paulo can outperform Tatum next year with the possible injuries that I think Tatum, the getting rested. We'll see though, a full year off unless they bring him back this year. If he re-aggravates it this year, like in the sense of that, I like it for Heath because he doesn't have to worry about any of that. But Tatum definitely is the better player. I'm not going to sit here and act like Paolo's the better player. Paolo, like I said, still has developing. I don't mind the roll of the dice on Paolo as he's been good in the counting stats. Um, but his percentages are hit or miss. He doesn't really make threes. For the season, 75 from the line, 25 from three, 45 from the field. Horrendous for Paolo. Paolo should be near 50% here. That should be better. This has got to be better. You got to get that up to like 81, 82. I'm fine with 8.75. No defensive stats for Paolo either, which I hate. He's got to get his points up to at least 25. But I think Paolo can do all those things I said. And if he turns into that, and then this turns into something really good next year, Heath might have won this trade long term as in next year, but we'll see. I love Tatum though long term for Brandon, even if next year's not his best year. Paolo's got to turn into something for Heath to win this trade. That's a lot of money though. But that's all the moves Heath made. So if we come over and look at his draft picks, he's right here. 4 first rounders. So he's picking 4 of the best 14 players in next year's draft. Now, will he draft 4 of the best 14 players? I don't know. It's 1 second, 2/3. He'll be done in the draft pretty much when Ryan's done in the draft or starting his draft, which is hilarious. I keep saying that. It's just funny to me. Heath has 5 picks in the first 28, 4 picks in the first 14. Um, that's league best. No one else has 5 in the first 28. No one has 4 in the first 14. And it's not even close. I think he's the only owner that has multiple firsts, and that's correct. So if Heath nails his draft, he should be very, very good next year. Like I said, the keepers he's going to be, I think, taking. I made a list for everyone. Made a list. One of these actually comes up here because I don't know who she keeps, but everyone else I gave 4 to, and I put the best like potential great players that'll be drafted in the first probably 28 next year. Um, so if to the 2 teams I gave no one to, and I put a question mark beside Aiden because who knows. Um, but and then I even added the rookies down here. I think there's 29 players total. Obviously, one has to go up here, so 28. So that's your first 2 rounds worth of players right here. And I might miss someone off this list, and the people that I have that are getting kept genuinely might not get kept. Me guessing, I'm throwing darts. Um, but yeah, Heath grabs 2. If Brandon misses playoffs, he grabs 2 of these in the first 4 picks. There's really good players here that could instantly help him. I have Heath keeping Paulo, Jaw, Aaron, Kyrie. He could easily swap these 2 in for those 2, and then those 2 come down here. But regardless, Heath will have options in the first round. He's walking away with 4 of the players you're looking at after the first round. The pair with Jaw, hopefully he can stay healthy for Heath and Paolo. And then the other 2, whoever he keeps. Heath has huge potential next year. Will have a lot of money. Um, he's sitting at 514. That's going to continue to grow this year. So when he has his playoff run next year, assuming he's in the playoffs, he should be ready. He should be ready next year. Now, if next year fails, this was a complete failure from Heath. And that's what I want to see. Was this just all for nothing? Because he downgraded his keepers from draft day. But maybe it's all for just a ship next year. Rinse and repeat, but I think he could snag some better keepers than he has this year coming in the next year. We'll have to see. It's a huge project Heath's got cooking up. And I want to see how it unfolds, if you want me to be honest. But it's my thoughts on Heath's team. Things I don't know why I'm here. Things Heath could have done better, could have done worse. Um, what I truthfully think about Heath's team, I think Heath has opened the eyes for a lot of owners on what to do. There's several owners this year that's probably set the bar for draft picks and what players are worth to some people. But truth be told, it's going to be exciting next year for Heath. Most pressure, number one on the list for most pressure on draft day next year. Has to nail it, or it was all for nothing. Complete waste of time. But next on the block, we got Joey. Joey on the block next. Complete different story for that, man. I'll see you guys there.